Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Carry Podcast, episode 19. 19 today. Almost to 20.
Dude, we're going to turn the corner here.
But we're not going to look too far ahead because, boy, do we have an exciting episode today. If you are watching, if you are not just listening, but you're watching, then you can probably see in front of us, we got some stuff today. We were doing a little bit of show and tell today.
Gonna have some fun.
Back to some of those school idea days. You know, show and tell was always some of my favorite days in school.
Loved them.
Well, that's what we're gonna do here on this episode today. It is called the Daily Carry Podcast.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about what we carry. We're gonna show, if you're watching online, you can see some of our preferred choices for carry. And we're just going to kind of talk about it, have some fun with this episode, show some of the gear that we trust, that we like, that we run, and maybe even talk a little bit about the tactics when running some of these pieces. And, I mean, we've got from firearms to knives to, what was it? What did you call your stick back here?
Buford. Yeah. There's a story behind that later.
So, I mean, it just looks like Keegan from The Walking Dead almost, just like that baseball bat with all the barbed wire and nails. But he's got a stick here on set that he brought. And whenever you go fishing, they've got this little bat thing, and they call it the Persuader. So as soon as you said Buford, that's why I immediately thought, that's the Persuader.
So the entire story is 10 seconds. Named it after a guy named Buford Pusser, the probably the most renowned sheriff in American history, 1970s, McNairy County, elected into office to clean up just rampant crime, and he never carried a gun. He carried a piece of hickory, and he would walk in, and that was back in the day when you literally, the laws were different and handling things were different. But yeah, he was known for carrying a big stick. So I named my hickory. I got a few pieces of hickory, but this is the one I carry when I go, like, it's more like hiking trails and stuff. I mean, it sits with me in the truck, but a lot of rattlesnakes out here, small critters. It's great for that.
That there is.
And it's hard as a coffin nail, so.
Yeah. Well, was that formerly an axe?
Yeah. I took a pick handle, I think, actually off that one.
Oh, pickaxe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like a good stick.
Nothing like a good piece of hickory, as Clint Eastwood would say.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, I didn't bring a stick, so I'm not as cool as you. But I did bring a couple pieces, and you've probably noticed online, if you do watch the video, you've probably noticed a couple of knives that sit on the table. The more recent iteration is the one on my side. I figure we start there, as they say. I think there's an episode in one of the John Wick movies. Do you want to start with dessert?
Yeah. Yeah.
With whoever the guy is with the UK accent,
Yeah.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
In that scene of picking out weapons in John Wick, he's just like, are you interested in dessert?
Yeah, it's appetizers, main course, right. And then Wick looks at him and goes dessert, and he goes, "Oh, dessert." And you could just see the smile on his face.
That scene's awesome,
it's
man.
A great scene.
But we'll start here, okay? Because I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this knife. I just got this knife whenever we were in Alaska just a few weeks ago. And what was super cool about it is we went to Wildman's. Wildman's is basically an outfitter for, it's like right on the Kenai. It's a fly shop, and they've got a whole bunch of different stuff. And they actually have a service where you can leave your car with them, and they will shuttle it down. That way you can drop your car, drop your raft, and you can float the Kenai down, and your truck, everything will already be ready for you down river. So that was pretty cool. But then when we got back to Wildman's, I saw this, and they had a couple of these there, and it was super cool because it's a railroad spike. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't know, on set, the tables that we have here on set, this is all reclaimed, repurposed railroad ties.
These tables actually are
crazy cool.
Yeah, they really are epically cool. When you're up close to them, just sitting here looking at the grain and the, I don't know. They're probably the coolest tables I've ever seen.
Facebook
actually.
Marketplace.
They're amazing.
$150.
Yeah.
So cool. There's that. Restoration Hardware, Pottery Barn. Would have got these same tables anywhere else. Yeah. But this was a good deal because it just fits the set, exactly what we wanted to do, and they're really cool. But then we also, whenever we're putting this together, we already had in mind, the Carry Your Cross Challenge, and we were discussing for a time putting those together with railroad ties. So it was just as soon as I saw this with the railroad spike, I was like, oh, that's cool. I got to get me one of those. And so here it is. If you're watching online, it is a knife made out of a railroad spike, and it says Alaska on it, which is actually pretty cool. It says Alaska, and yeah. So there's my appetizer. I guess I have one more appetizer sitting in front of me. This is what I carry every day, and I've showed this before. I carry this. This is a Microtech UT 85, so it's basically like 15% smaller than a UT or full-size UT from Microtech. But this is double-sided. I've got, one side serrated and the other side not. So this is what I carry, and I like to carry this because it's a nice quick deploy and the action's great. Every once in a while they need to be cleaned.
Yep.
Other than that,
Great knives though.
yeah. Other than that, it really it works great. Anything and everything that I ever needed for it works great. Other than that, I mean, just on my keychain, I've got a little Gerber dime multi-tool that gets used like 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, depending on the day.
Yeah. Does the spike have? I mean, obviously it's full tang because it's nothing but a spike. But how's the weight on it?
You want to feel it? Here you go. You haven't even taken it for a test drive? Come on.
I mean, it's actually not bad.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty functional.
I like the end of it too because, it's a really good grip.
I think it's
creative too.
Pretty functional. I think that the utility of it, I mean, it's a knife.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I actually like the feel of it, like the weight of it. And
it feels if you were taking a good strike at something, the weight, it doesn't feel light and it doesn't feel overly heavy.
well, whenever it's field dressing in elk this season, we'll see how it really does. But,
There you go.
but you want to know the honest truth? I don't even use usually. Sometimes every once in a while, maybe. But usually I don't use big gutting knives anymore. And I got this just from my taxidermy guy. He uses like a little tiny Havilon, and he just slices everything up with that just within a couple minutes. And so I started trying to get a lot more proficient with it. So I have a Havilon. I'll use that, but I really like, there's this other one. I think it's called, it's either called EDC or something like that. And it has an interchangeable blade, but it's actually a little bit bigger than a Havilon. I think it's called something outdoors. I'll have to remember the name.
But you can quarter with it?
Oh yeah,
That's nice.
Well, the thing is this: whenever you actually start getting proficient with the quartering, you start realizing that you just cut all the tendons and all that kind of stuff away, and then once you get to the bone, you don't actually have to saw the bone. You can, as soon as you've cut everything else away, you can just pop the bone right off.
Yeah.
And so, cutting it efficiently is actually the smarter thing to do, and it's the easier thing to do.
My first quartering was I looked like a scene in Dexter, but I looked like I had no idea what I was doing because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done that before, and man, I got tarnished.
Well, I will tell you that my first butchering was definitely not what I just described of being that smooth, efficient process either. So you're not alone. In fact, this was super cool. In 2021, me and Aaron, Aaron. Aaron has a viral armbar on Pit Boss Grappling. Aaron Hammond, shout out to you, sir. Come train. Been missing you over here. I know he just got a house in Kiowa. He's been setting everything up over there. He's been working hard over there. He's got a good spot over there. But me and him have been hunting together for several years, and we happened to go out in 2021, opening day. Me and him were sitting on the cliffside, and we started calling like probably an hour before sunlight. And we got a response probably right within about 15, 20 minutes of legal shooting light. And that thing just came in on a stringer, dude.
Wow.
Just screaming at us. And so Aaron falls back on the mountainside, basically like there's a bull pushing cows back up the ridge to try to get this guy to come in. And Aaron's just calling. We didn't really know at that point where it was going to come to. If it would have come up on Aaron's side, Aaron would have shot it, but it just so happened to come up on my side. Thank God. So I'm sitting watching this thing walk up the mountain, and he's walking right toward me at this point now because Aaron was still calling. He walked up the ridge behind me and kind of at an angle. So the bull came straight up the ridge and then straight toward me. So he was not broadside at all.
Yeah.
He was quartering to me just a tiny bit.
Is that a tougher shot?
Oh, yeah, way tougher. And, I mean, there's a couple different ways that you can try to play it. Like you can try to place it straight center down the chest. I didn't even have that shot open because he was quartering just enough to where if I had done that, there was no opening. He wasn't facing straight enough at me to where that would have been an option. So he was quartering. He was literally straight on, walking straight toward me. So I couldn't wait to take a shot because he was going to get probably another 5 yards and he was just going to see me. I was going to be standing right in front of him.
Right.
I shot this guy probably about like maybe 25 yards.
Wow.
And I'm just standing behind a bush using that for some concealment. And whenever I draw back and I let my first arrow fly because he was quartering to me, I think, because it was a good shot. But I think that the arrow must have somehow ricocheted on some kind of a bone and it went up and it must have nicked his spine because he just dropped. Never seen that ever happen.
Yeah, they always go.
I really wish that I would have had a GoPro. I didn't have a GoPro on me that season. We had it, but wasn't recording. So I didn't get that shot recorded, but he just dropped. And I was like, whoa, never seen this happen with a bow before. Is that it? Is it over? But then he kind of like starts to wobble around a little bit, stands back up. And all I could remember is echoing in my ears and in my mind, rack another shot. Take another shot. You got to make sure, like every video that you ever watch, every instructional, if you have an opportunity to put another arrow down range, do it.
Yeah.
So I sent another one at him. That one was clean, straight, double lung, went straight through him, and he dropped again and rolled all the way down the cliff. He stood up at the bottom of the cliff, and that was probably about 30 yards. So I ranged him again, and I put one more in him, and then he fell again and kind of like tumbled again down all the way to the creek bed.
Holy cow.
So you're talking about an entire like cliffside that this thing fell down. Well, anyways, me and Aaron, this is first literally open day. So we're just hyped up. We're just like, dude, are you kidding me? This is like the first hour. This is crazy. So we're excited about the kill. We start walking down there. The thing is though, when we start quartering this thing and gutting this thing, we're in the bottom of a creek bed.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, those bees, those wasps start flying in like crazy. And so we're having to just try to do our best to make some quick work of quartering this thing. But every single quarter, you're talking about walking it straight up the mountainside.
I was going to ask, how'd you get
it
out?
It was a tough pack out.
Yeah.
Very tough. I mean, we got it done. We got back by probably, 12, maybe 1 in the afternoon. And what we were most excited about, we didn't call, we didn't text, we didn't post any pictures, nothing. We were like, dude, we're going to go show our dads, and we're not even going to say anything.
Super cool.
So it happened that same day, his dad was already going to be at my dad's house. They had some kind of a meeting with, I think, some of the administration at the church. So we pulled up with my truck with this thing just sitting in the bed of the truck. And we go inside, and our dad's like, how'd you do? I'm like, you want to come see?
Yeah.
And they come out, they're like, what?
In the first
No
hour.
way. You guys got this done today? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And then so everybody was pretty excited about that. That was super cool. But that's to say, the quartering job, I can tell you, yeah, that was a botch job. Yeah. That was us using some saws and just hammering it out and trying to get it done quick.
Yeah.
So that was a fun hunt, though. And shout out to Aaron because he definitely – he put in some work that day. But I will have to preface with saying that in 2020, boy, I'm going to have to drop it and leave it after this because we got to get into this. But in 2020, we went hunting, me and Aaron, and the first night that me and him went, it was after our buddy's wedding. The first night, again, we're talking opening day. We call in this monster bull that's already opening day of September. He's pushing like 5 cow elk in front of him down this valley. And Aaron's set up on the other side of the meadow from where I am, and he's in a perfect shooting lane. And I'm watching this entire thing happen because I'm just calling like crazy this entire night. And then finally we hear some crashing in the woods, and then we hear this monster of a bugle back to us. And then I'm like, okay, this is it. I got to rip out the biggest, nastiest bugle that I ever have in my entire life. As soon as I heard that, I knew it, and I ripped it. And I made that bull think that there was a bull down there coming for him because he just ripped through the woods after that. He was pushing all those cows in front of him. And as he's walking through these aspens, I can see him on the other side of the meadow, and I see Aaron. I can see Aaron, and I can see him sitting behind this rock as this magnificent bull is pushing all these cows down. And I see it. I've always likened it to like if there was this big candlestick with a bunch of like lit candles, because you know how the tips of their antlers will kind of get white from getting rubbed.
Yep.
So we were starting to almost run out of shooting light. So as it's walking out of the aspens, you just see it moving its head like this, looking around, and I'm just thinking, oh my word, this thing is a giant. That was solid, at least 7x7. That thing was massive. I mean, you're talking about beginning of the season already, the kind of a herd bull that already had like 5-6 cows that it's pushing in front of it. So I hear Aaron shoot. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And so I get down there. I'm like, dude, I cannot believe we just got that bull. He said, what are you talking about? I shot a cow.
Oh, no.
I said, you did what? He said, dude, I got to go back to college in like 2 days. I'm shooting whatever I see. I said, dude, the bull was right behind the cows.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
the biggest bull I've ever seen hunting in all the years I've been hunting. And he's like, what? Are you kidding me? But sure enough, he shot a cow. So we packed and quartered out that cow. And that was a hike too. So 2020, I helped him do that. 2021, he turned around and helped me do that with the bull. But man, it's stories and it's things like that that I really think that keep you chasing.
Yeah.
Keep you pursuing. Because it's like, man, are you kidding me? I almost could have killed this giant. That's crazy. And I mean, there's plenty of stories. I go down the rabbit trail of all kinds of missed opportunities. I already talked about having my bow on the ground and bull right in front of me, all kinds of stuff. But anyways, we'll leave it at that because we have some gear to review. And you also haven't even done your appetizer yet. I don't even know if I've seen this out of the sheath, by the way. I don't know what this is here.
This was something actually I just picked up off of Etsy. Sorry, Peter Kohler.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that, actually.
Yeah, you quick peeked it before. I actually picked it up simply. I read a couple of reviews on the guy that made the knives, and people came back and said just epically cool design. It's not something that I do EDC. It actually sits in my Jeep. So I guess EDC as far as sitting in my Jeep, but I liked it. I like the feel of it. I like the handle. It was just a cool knife. Now, Peter Kohler, we got to get Peter and Amber on her. So Peter owns Dark Timber Knives. This guy does. He's right here in outside of Castle Rock, Sedalia area, and this guy has got a epic following on custom made knives, dude. I mean, the kind of folding he does and everything. Right, he brings guys from all over the United States come over and build knives. Mm-hmm. Forge knives in his pole barn with him, and they stay with him for like a week. He houses them, he brings them in, really, really cool. And then his wife, Amber, is one of the stars of, I think it's Naked and Afraid is the show, to where she goes out into the outback carrying a Bowie knife that he makes and kills alligators bareback naked and then feeds at the camp. I mean, dude, she's the craziest gal. Yeah, so, but they're pretty neat people. So yeah, I have that. What I carry on my person actually is just it's a Gerber Ghost Strike. It's an old one. So
You get this question a lot. So hopefully a lot of those people asking those questions,
they don't make it anymore.
they see this episode.
Yeah, they don't make it anymore. I probably use this knife much like you do with your other one, 8-10 times a day. I don't even know that it's ergonomically great. The thing I love about it is one, when I holster this thing up into the Kydex, it snaps, it's secure. I can't tell you how many foot chases I've been in with this knife. Never lost it. Tumbles, fights, the whole 9 yards. I just really like it. It's very, very functional. It's easy to access. You can actually hear it click in. Mm-hmm. And then I got a necklace deal. So I get into a fight, I can reach up and grab it. It's like a razor blade on steroids. But that's what I put on my person every day. Like no matter where I go, that thing's with me. Those two are with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a simple, by the way, when it comes to like tactics, people ask all the time, like you train, you do a lot of stuff I do, but really I'm kind of a very simple guy, simple, practical. I run pretty much the same. Like I'll run 9 in almost everything. I'm not saying there's not a use for other stuff, but for me, I just,
What do you got to say against God's caliber? Fought 2 world wars.
I'm just saying, I've got my 45s and my 40s, and I've got my stuff. But I'm a polymer guy because I carry in the small of my back. You sweat constantly, having to clean a gun. I got some really cool 45s that I'll strap on my hip. But as far as just running around town and doing stuff, 95% of the time, I got a Springfield Hellcat on me.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I primarily always run 9, but I do every once in a while. And this, I guess this is a fun place to start. Okay, because I'll get one of the goodies out of the bag here. Okay, so We already pre-cleared before the episode, by the way, everybody online, but I'll go ahead and do this again, dump. So every once in a while when I'm really when I'm feeling like a cowboy, whatever, I'll carry this. Man, I love this holster.
Yep.
It's just so comfortable to carry. And then this Colt King Cobra 357, that's what's in my hand if you're not watching online. It's a 6-shooter, but man, this gun's awesome.
There's just something about a good revolver.
Yeah, I love this gun. It shoots great. It shoots 357 and 38 special. Honestly, I like 38 special probably a little more.
Yeah, you get less kick.
I think that it probably has nearly just as much of the power that you get with 357, but you got a lot more control over the gun.
Yeah.
357 is awesome though. I love 357 because I also have a lever action 357. And so usually like if we're camping or whatever, I'll run both of these. I'll carry this on my person and then I'll have the 357 just because the 357 lever action is just wildly fun.
Yeah.
You just feel like there's no way you can't feel like a cowboy whenever you're shooting that thing and then you kick it and that casing just throws like 2 feet over your shoulders. It's just the coolest thing
I got
ever.
a 4570.
Oh, so you're even more of a cowboy. I don't have a 4570 yet.
It's got a little shoulder hurt to it, but it is fun. And you're right. I mean, when you bang that shell and that thing goes back 6 feet over your head, it's so cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I started with one of my guns here. So there's
me. I didn't bring anything cool. Well, I brought
my range bag was just so happened to be already sitting in my truck.
I didn't do that. I will start with something fun though. So people will laugh. I laughed when I first saw it. I thought this is a gimmick. So this is a Kel-Tec Sub 2000. You ever seen one?
It folds over on
it folds over.
Right?
Yeah, you can put it in a backpack.
Yeah.
Now I've got a dead air can on it. So I'm running. It runs Glock mags, so it's carbine. You're running 9. So I run. What am I running? 147 grain, I think, on it. So it's a little bit more silenced out. It's not whisper quiet. It's not pop. You don't get. I mean, you could run this thing in a house shooting and barely hear it. It's actually pretty cool. But what I like about it, there's two things I love about it, and there's one thing that I unequivocally hate about it. I love the ability to CQB with it. It is super light. It's about, with the can on it, it's about 6 pounds total. About 6 pounds, maybe.
That's awesome.
It's got an extension on it where you got an extra mag in it. And I got a couple others that I
show the camera. Your camera is that
carry
camera
on the belt.
There,
sorry,
and it's on you.
So this right here, this Sub 2000, it's light. The grip actually on it is uber comfortable, and you can manipulate it. It is really fun to go around corners with. It's just as simple as an AR, less weight. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the knockdown power, but I'm talking CQB stuff. Really, really like this gun. I found that I've started to become fairly proficient with it. The one thing that I hate that I'm going to switch out, though, is the trigger. The trigger is actually polymer, believe it or not. I can't believe they put a polymer trigger on a gun. But I will say this. Once you get used to it in CQB stuff, you can really ting some metal with it. I mean, it is actually a lot of fun. So I run just a simple RDS on it, but it's actually got a really good iron sight that I can sight through the RDS.
For those listening, RDS is a red dot sight.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that.
My bad. If you're watching this channel... so I run it day and night, but I do.
What dot is on there? What is that?
I think it's a Hollison. I don't know, dude. I've got so many different. I don't know, because I've got 3 of these. I actually run 2 of them for a class. I bring them with me so guys can use them. So
would you say that that's like your preferred go-to if you need to get up in the middle of the night?
In the night, in the house? Oh yeah.
Really?
Completely I've taken 179 degree swing over to moving this thing through the house.
You want to know what's so crazy is that you and I haven't even talked about this before, but it's pretty crazy that our choice, our decision is actually the exact same.
Oh, is that right?
Because as you've got that Kel-Tec in your hand, I've got in my bag my preferred home defense, and it's not too dissimilar from yours.
Yeah.
And this is what I had it in my range bag, so I had it all collapsed. But
Right.
I keep this suppressed as well. So now what I have over here, this is a CZ Scorpion, and this is the Evo 3S2. So this one is the one that's a little bit smaller, more compact. It all kind of folds on itself so that you can keep it, in a backpack.
Yep.
Nice backpack gun.
Crazy cool gun.
But I mean, it's the same as yours. This is a
just
9 millimeter, and this is what I prefer. This is what I keep to be able to defend my home. If I ever were in a situation to do that, this stays in the room with me, and it's ready to go. And the thing is having it suppressed in the house.
Yep.
for a lot of people out there, if you just got a gun, you're like, I'm going to be able to defend myself, especially like if you're taking some of the mainstream advice and you got a 12 gauge shotgun ready to defend your house, you won't probably be able to hear the same the rest of your life.
Yeah, you'll have tinnitus. I keep a 12 by my bed.
Hopefully some ear pro too, though.
Yeah, I just, so I load. Again, I'm a really practical person, and a lot of my experience comes from SWAT on both sides of what we were going in with and what we were coming up against, and dudes that I cross-trained with. I had a lot of SF guys say, dude, run a carbine in your house. Run a carbine with a can.
Yeah.
When you get out on the range or out in the real world, obviously you're running, an M4 or something like that. But at the end of the day, I really like this in the house. It's simple. I love that.
Here, trade me.
Controllability.
Come on, man. Come on. This is show and tell. You're supposed to show me yours. I'll show you mine.
Yours is a touch lighter. I think you've got to be probably running about 4.5 pounds, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what I love about that gun is how small and compact it is.
Shorter.
And whenever you're talking about CQB, I mean, obviously those extra few inches are not going to matter crazy whenever you've trained that way.
Yeah.
But for me and in my house and the layout there, that is just perfect.
Yep.
Cutting corners, all that stuff is
that's great.
Is a great gun for that. But I will agree with you that on that gun, I mean, the trigger's okay, but the safety is just stupid. You start shooting it whenever the safety's off, and that safety just starts to dig into your hand.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that people switch on CZs, usually, from what I understand, is the safety.
That would drive my finger nuts where that's at.
I still haven't switched to safety, but I need to.
Yeah.
And honestly, just that entire grip, the grip's kind of a little clumsy. It's kind of a little bit, it's almost like a little cheap feeling. It's
sorry, world.
Super plasticky.
It's very plasticky, but the feel of the gun is great, and I do like the length of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a couple different things going on there. In fact, you already seem to initiate the laser.
I did. Sorry. I got to throw a light.
Well, hold on. You got to show the internet, if they have never seen this, how that thing swings over, because that's pretty cool how it swings over.
So this gun, what's really neat about it, so you've got on the foregrip up here is actually pretty sweet too, because you can actually run over the top. Hand is out of the way. The pick rail it doesn't impact in any way, shape, or form. So pretty neat setup. Folds in half all the way down. So now I have to take the can off to put it in a backpack, but you just hand screw it on. But
I mean, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Have you seen those adapters? I haven't got one yet, but they've got those quick release adapters for the suppressors and stuff. You can just thread on the permanent one, and then you thread on the permanent one to the can, and then you got these different quick systems. Army Brian's the one who showed it to me. He's got it. He also has a Scorpion.
Yeah.
And he's got that on there, which is super cool. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I want to see it in action. I haven't test driven one yet.
He seems to be very much in favor of them. And whenever we went out to the range one day, he showed me his, and it's a pretty cool setup.
Yeah.
I really like it. But
Very
this
cool.
guy,
I like it.
I'm running a laser that I can operate here just with my thumb. It's a laser light. And, that's just to have on there in case need be. But also, and very important, I think, is you got quick release on all these lights. So you can be able to take them off. You know why? Because you always got to be able to have that edge. If somebody, if you're really in a firefight, right? I want to be able to use anything and everything that I needed to, right?
Right.
So on this guy specifically, right now it's kind of stupid, but I do have two lights, and probably a lot of people on the internet are going to make fun of me, and that's just fine, because the thing is I want to be able to turn one on if I really needed to, and either leave it stationary as I move around somewhere else, or just be able to throw it, distraction, whatever it might be, and be able to use that if need be. I have irons that pop up for backups if needed, but I do have the newer Hollow Sun on here that is an enclosed emitter. And this sight's awesome, dude. If you've never test driven the closed emitter,
I'll be doing it on Labor Day weekend.
You will be, and it is truly awesome. I really like this sight a lot. And I mean, overall, just this gun, I love this gun. I mean, all the way up to exactly where you'd want to be for CQB. It's just a tack driver. I mean, you can just. I mean, I was with a buddy just a couple days ago. That's why I had my range bag in the truck. Anyways, we were playing Battleship, And I pulled that out. I was like, okay, I got to get serious now. He's like, oh, great. Now you're going to smoke. I said, no, you can use it too. But the problem is he didn't really know. He doesn't know the gun. He doesn't know the holdover. So I'm just sinking every single one. And
cool.
he's just like, dude, you got to tell me where to aim. I'm like, okay, aim here. And then he started hitting them too.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, okay.
Were you using RDS on that or sights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
RDS.
If you're not used to it, it's, all the gun guys out there, I mean, we're talking baseline stuff. All the gun guys out there will, most of them are converting over to RDS. I still run irons on almost everything. I've got maybe 3 guns I'm running an RDS system on, but yeah, I'm kind of just old school. I still, as I told you the day, I write checks, pay cash. I'm still an iron guy. What I do like about your second light, and I always say this in tactics, one of the reasons I'm not throwing one on is because I'm running a handheld for the same reason. And I'll throw one on this gun. The other 2 have them, but the ability to take one off and throw it, that 2 to 3 seconds you're going to buy when somebody sees that light going across the room.
Oh yeah,
that's the life-saving moment. When we train, because there's an old Kentucky statement: you can swing a dead cat in the air and find 10 experts in something. The truth of the matter is, there's a lot of gun guys out there that really know what they're talking about. Really, really know what they're talking about. Like really good guys. I've always kind of considered myself kind of a mid-level. As far as CQB and tactics and movement, that's a little bit more my forte. I'm not a long-range guy, never have been a long-range guy, wouldn't claim to know anything about it, and I'm really not, believe it or not, I'm really not a gun guy. Like my brother, as an example, he's 8 years younger than me. He could have his own, he would have his own podcast, and probably I would put him in the top 5 guys I've ever met in my entire life as far as gun knowledge, war history, applicability of stuff. I mean,
so he knows all about God's caliber.
He knows all about God's caliber. He knows. I mean, he really can. I mean, he flutes things and creates twists and barrels. I mean, he forges. He could sit down and talk stats and specs with you all day long, and I go, yeah, I shoot a 9 carbine. Kel-Tec, and he's like, you're an idiot. And then he comes out and he shoots. He's like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. He's like, but you got to switch the trigger. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then he, a week later, he's like, hey, guess what I bought? I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I would have never bought one of their pistols, but the gun is cool. It's the only one I own. Or I've got 3 of them.
You got to put it in frame, man. You got to put it in frame so that anybody watching can be able to see as we're getting all these tools out and demonstrating.
I'll put it next to Beaver, so you can see a foot longer than yours. Still from cutting corners, though. I can tell you, I've never banged anything with it yet. I haven't run into anything with it.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of people who do CQB with an AR-15 full length, 16-inch barrel. You know, so I mean, it's definitely not like it's not necessarily a disadvantage. I think
like
that there's advantages to both.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't like. I like it because I don't get tired with it. That's the one. It just it's not heavy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you needed to punch out a little further, you punch out a little further. No, sir. This thing is mostly going to be maybe. I'm wanting to stay well within 100 yards.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't take this gun. I don't even know that I would take that one to 100 yards, but anything inside of 50. But really, stuff that we're doing, when we train, we're training guys and gals in their homes. So people that are CCWs and they're like, hey, I want to carry it, out on the road and do all that. That's all good and fine, but let's start where you live. And it is so much fun training husbands and wives. They just soak the stuff up like a sponge. Because once you teach them how to move through the house and to triangulate and all this stuff and protect.
Makes sense.
Oh my gosh. It's like, it's a whole new genre that we have fallen into. And it is a lot of fun. And I'll tell you right now that the untrained, you'll have trips and falls with people. Don't get me wrong. You're going to have people that are going to have speed bumps in their training. But for the most part, because they've never done it, they have no bad habits, and they don't even know what they're stepping into. Yeah. They're actually very, very good. As opposed to just going straight to the lane and punching paper. You can teach most people how to punch paper. I would much rather have them move because I want to teach them to breathe. To me, it's far more important to breathe and manipulation and transitions and left to rights and hand manipulation, strong to weak, and all that stuff. That's hard to teach on paper.
I agree.
But it's great to teach in a house and then take them out live and watch them come to life. It's a lot of fun. So yeah. Well, and I'll show you one thing. So we're showing toys. So this is actually not so much a toy as an add-on. So this is a Springfield XTM Tactical Elite. What I love about the reason I run Springfields is the backstrap. It's just comfortable. It's comfortable in my hand. I shot Glock forever in law enforcement. I actually had a guy knurl this as a flash suppressor for the end of the gun, but it's like a razor blade. And the reason I had to make this is so if if I'm ever running my house or I'm teaching somebody and somebody goes to grab your gun, which will happen frequently. I mean, in tactics, I can tell you in SWAT, I watch this happen over and over. You pie a corner, bam, there's a guy standing there. And one guy may be coming in high, and the next thing you know, he's in a fight for his own weapon. One of the things I love doing is I love driving two-handed into the middle of the chest if I'm pushing somebody to the ground. So I can still take the shot if I have to, but if I can put them to the ground physically, if they're wrestling over my gun, that's what I would prefer to do. And when they grab the end of this thing, all I'm do is turn it, and there's nothing left of their hand.
You're going to shred the skin
Absolutely
right off.
nothing left of their hand.
Oh, well, this thing is cool. Do they just like sell stuff like this or no?
You can buy those now. The guy, when he originally made that one for me, I told him what I wanted to do. He is now offering those online because, because it became such a hit with it. So he made a replica for his buddy, and his buddy was doing like wrestling matches, and they were wearing gloves, and they were just filleting these gloves. So I thought, well, at a bare minimum, I'm going to run that. And then with the high sights, you can go right over the top of the flash. So it's actually a pretty cool training gun. That's really what I use it for. It's not an EDC as much as it is I just use it for training.
Yeah. No, that thing is pretty ferocious. I would not want to grab this thing if it was in somebody's hands. I know that would definitely jack up my hand for sure. But it's kind of cool. It's like a little bit of a what's the word? What do they call that at the end of the rifle? The knife that they put. What do they call it?
Bayonet.
Bayonet. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like a bayonet.
Yeah, it's a
for
modern
your
day
for
bayonet.
your pistol. Yeah, that's super cool. I do like the way this feels. My buddy has a Springfield. I think I've shot it maybe once, but I don't think it was an XD Elite. So this
it's
definitely
weighted
feels
well,
nice.
and the trigger pull and the reset on it is actually for a factory gun. I really like it.
So just straight up iron sights.
Straight up iron
no
sights.
No fiber optics in there. Nothing. Old school.
Old school. Yeah.
I like it.
And I've got one more of those that have some night stuff on it that I train with, but that is one that I'm just when I'm running classes and dry fire only. And we're doing field strips and takeaways and things like that. We showcase this, and we always put a glove on them so that they understand. But yeah, it's just one of those kind of a fun thing, but it's super practical. So I'll use this in my house as well if I'm ever running at night. So
that's very cool. So thankfully, I do have very quick deploy. I mean, it's kind of sounds stupid, but I have quick deploy ear protection, hearing protection. Ear Pro is what you'll hear some of us. I said Ear Pro before without really clarifying. Anybody online doesn't know what that means. Hearing protection. So if I do have to run something unsuppressed in my house, I am going to make a point to have that. Now, the hearing protection that I have also has microphones built in. So it's not like I'm putting hearing protection on and then I can't hear anything that's happening. No, I can hear everything that's happening. It's just whenever I go to fire my weapon, then my ears aren't going to burst open.
Yeah.
Right? So that's important to me because if I shoot a gun, and let's just say I shoot my gun and then maybe I missed and it didn't work, well, just shooting your gun inside, if you've never done it before, it can kind of have some concussion behind it. It can almost, to a degree, it can throw pretty much everything off.
Yeah.
So having at least some hearing protection, keeping your wits about you, to me, that's a very important piece to this. So I like to keep that in mind anytime that we're talking about running guns in the house that are not suppressed. My preference is my go-to is suppressed. And my wife and her daughter, they're trained on this. They know how to shoot this. They know how this works. They know where it stays in the house. And they know that they can shoot it and they're going to be okay with their hearing being protected without any hearing protection. But if I have to pick something else up and run it, I'll put hearing protection on. The other gun that's going to stay with me in my room as well is, where's it at? Yeah, no, these are a couple of my carries. Here you go. Here it is. So this is the gun. Believe it or not, you know how everybody says, well, guns don't shoot people. People shoot people.
Yeah.
Well, this is apparently the only gun that actually
shoots people. I am actually surprised you have one.
P320. Now this is the more recent generation. So this is supposed to supposedly have the fix on it. I do have the original generation one as well. I don't have that one with me, so don't worry. You're safe.
Carry it unchambered.
But there has been some issues with P320s lately. There's been quite a bit of flack that SIG's been getting with the guns shooting themselves when they're not supposed to, and they've been recently pulled from all the law enforcement, at least I know in Colorado.
And military, I think they're on it now too.
You think they're on it?
Well, I believe so because they had a death like 2 weeks ago.
Man, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
But this is a P320, and this is the Spectre version. This is not the full size. It's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. It has some nice serrations, and it's partially ported there at the top, which is kind of cool. So it's a good.
Do you get a lot
gun.
of flash at night with it?
Oh yeah, dude, this thing.
I mean, it's got to blow out. Yeah.
This thing's bright.
That's the one thing on this one right here with that little knurled deal. It actually takes all the flash out. That's the other reason I put it on.
Makes sense.
So if I'm running it at night, I can fillet somebody and not get blinded.
Way smarter. Way smarter.
I mean, simple.
Well, yeah, this thing stays, and we'll keep this thing pointed that way.
That's funny. Hey, I want to go back to the shotgun for a sec because there is and again, whatever works for you, it works for you. That's the one thing that I think we should always qualify on the show when we're talking about stuff. We said the other day, we'll talk about things we know about, offer some opinion, maybe some perspective, but we'll try to stay in our lane if we don't. Yeah. I think it's okay to have an opinion on stuff. I mean, like you can sit back and be objective about something and look at it rationally and say, what's happening in politics or the world. When it comes to this kind of stuff, I get a lot of guys that come to me and say, you're in SWAT, you've been doing this your whole life. Again, I say mid-level, and the reason I say mid-level, I've shot with guys that have never had any training in their life. No SF guys, no military, no law enforcement, no SWAT, no background. Some of the best shooters I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. I mean, bar none, some of the best shooters I've ever seen in my life. One of my buddies, a former firefighter, never did law enforcement, anything. He was the guy I was telling you about, could shoot a playing card in half and a tic-tac at honestly, I think at 25 yards. I think he can take down a tic-tac. Just eyesight on irons. He was just an incredible shot. And
that's literally shooting a fly off.
I know.
A horse's back.
It's pretty incredible. So there's some amazing shooters. I'm more of a movement shooter within your 10 by 18 right here. Like that. Yeah. That to me, this is my target zone. So the reason I wanted to mention shotgun for a second, but it is deafening, and it is one of those guns that is incredibly practical in the right circumstance. It is a great home defense gun from a couple standpoints. One, depending on what you load it with, and two, it does make that fun noise that everybody, once you hear that rack of the round, it may give somebody pause if they're downstairs coming upstairs, broken into your house. I load mine, so I run bird, double-let slug. So
makes sense.
Attention getter.
Yeah.
You got 25 BBs hitting you at 1,500 feet per second, and you got 25 more hitting you at 15 feet or 1,500 feet per second. If that hasn't got your attention, you're rethinking your battle plan at a bare minimum. And the nice thing about it, the reason I keep it, is I only keep it for tactical advantage at the top of the stairs. Like, I'm not running outside with it unless I absolutely have to. But at the end of the day, it's really a top of the stair, control my environment gun. So if I'm going to post up, I'm not going down to hunt people downstairs. There's no reason for me to go searching through my house if my wife and I are upstairs. If they want the TV, have the TV. I don't care. Yeah. Now, if I got 4 or 5 dudes in the house and I got to deal with, modern day Al-Qaeda breaking into my house, then we're in a different scenario.
Yeah.
But
it's also different if you've got kids who live in different
That's
parts
exactly
of the
right.
house,
If you got kids living in the house, you got to go, now it's game on, and you got to eliminate or stop the threat to protect the kiddos. But if you're all barricaded in one room, and we teach this all the time, if you can grab the kids, if you have the ability to grab the kids and put them in the room with you, post up at the top of stairs on a 2-story, great, or get behind concealment cover in a different area. But if you got to go hunting your kids, it's game on. I mean, now we're totally talking CQB training. So shotgun to me works really, really well. Again, bird, double-lot, slug. And the reason I run it that way is the first round's it's going to stop them. I mean, I've never had to deal with it, but there's no doubt in my mind they're going to be like, holy crap, what just hit me? Yeah. The reason I go to double-lot is if I got to put somebody down, or I've got to deal with a vehicle on the 5th one for the slug. I want something that'll punch.
Makes sense.
Whatever I need to do. But, that's kind of a worst case scenario deal. But, shotgun's a good gun. Like,
listen,
there's
I didn't
nothing
mean
wrong
to say
with
anything wrong about a shotgun.
Oh, you
if
didn't.
I sounded that way, then that's not what I meant. I mean, I've got, I think, 4, maybe 5 shotguns at home. I've got what's called a JIC, Shockwave, just in case. It's really cool. It comes with this tube. It's a PVC that's all painted in like high-vis orange, and you clamp it down, and it's built to where you can literally just go bury it somewhere. You know where it's at.
Sure.
I don't keep it buried. It's in my house. and that thing's awesome. It's a sawed off pretty much. It's got a pistol grip on it. So basically, whenever you buy this with the modern day regulations that are kind of ridiculous, you buy it as a pistol action shotgun.
Yeah.
So that's what I have, and that one works. That one's incredible. Modern. I mean, to be able to have that exact what you're talking about CQB throughout the house, that thing's awesome. And it's pump. I mean, you hear that shot and you hear a pump, you're getting out of Dodge, right? But I think that what you brought up is a good point as far as whether you're going to post up or whether you're going to clear. Because you hear a lot of people talk about this, and you hear a bunch of people be like, you're stupid if you think you need to clear your house. You need to just post up, camp out, and that's your advantage, is just to do that. Well, it's not always the case.
Not always.
Not at all. I mean, I live in a ranch-style house. My wife's daughter's in the basement.
Yeah.
If somebody comes in, I'm not sitting in the room. I'm going to go clear the house, and I'm going to eliminate the threat if it needs to be eliminated.
And if you and your wife are trained and you can train together, you guys can clear together. So now you're triangulating 2-on-1 opposing threats. I mean, there's just so many.
Well, hopefully
advantages.
2-on-1. Hopefully
she'll
2-on-1.
go. There's no doubt. If it's her daughter, she's going.
No. I'm saying hopefully 2-on-1 is if there's only one threat.
Oh, I got you.
We may be talking about a John Wick scenario. You know, maybe I got to take out 20 guys. I don't know.
Dude,
I'm just joking.
Isn't that oddly every guy's strange dream? It's like fighting Al Qaeda, and it's like you look at it. I mean, look, I know people are going to say you guys are nuts, but the truth of the matter is we're men. If you've ever been in a playground fight, I'm talking like 3rd grade, 4th grade, you will remember that first time your fist connected with somebody else's face, or somebody connected their fist to your face. You'll remember that for the rest of your life. I don't care how many things you do. You can do jiu-jitsu, martial arts, hockey. Like me, I was an enforcer in hockey. I've probably had my face punched 250 times. I'm sure. I don't remember 3 of them, but I remember that. I remember that big bully girl, 3rd grader. I remember her like it was yesterday. Man, she was twice my size.
Yeah.
I was a 2nd grader and she was a 3rd grader. Notice I'm saying she. And small town Kentucky, and she came over and kept shoving me to the ground. I actually think she liked me. I think that was her way. That's what the teacher kept saying. If they pick on you, Micah, they like you. But we ended up getting into a scrap, and I punched her in the face, and I've never forgotten that, because it was. I remember the feel, and I remember the look on her face, and then I remember her crying, and then I remember the guilt.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, but you know what? We were friends all the way through high school after that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It just took a little course correction. That's all.
A little course correction of beating up a girl with one punch. No, I tell that story only because I remember it, but it's funny because when you go into the real world, and we're talking John Wick and the movie and all this stuff. The jits was real down there. We're role playing with the guns, but in the real world, dude, a street fight is no joke. And if it's 3-on-1, you're in a lot of trouble. Or if you're coming home and you open the door and there's 3 dudes in your house, what do you have?
Yeah.
Half a second to see it, get past your paralysis by analysis, make your decision, take a breath, know where your weapon is, find some degree of concealment cover, or find some degree of target accuracy to move forth on, whatever you got to do based on the situation, of course. That a lot happens in 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like your whole world changes in 3 to 5 seconds. People
100%.
just don't understand. They're like, well, I carry a gun, I'm good to go. It's like, well, that's fine.
No.
Right up until it happens. Which is why when I showed that tactical elite to people, I'm like, dude, that's a little bit of overkill on the end of it. I'm like, yeah, grab the end of it and find out. Because I guarantee if I come around the corner and somebody grabs a hold of that, I can always pull the trigger. But if they go to strip that gun, and if you've ever done any gun stripping classes, you go to take somebody, trust me, you're not stripping that gun out of my hand. You're certainly not grabbing the end of it and stripping it out of my hand. You got 20 razor blades going through your hand.
Yeah,
but
it's not fun.
That tiny little advantage is much like your flashlight when you say, hey, toss the light. Yeah, it's a distractor.
Yeah.
Well, that's real life, and that's what we teach.
And that's what we're doing in small scale in a fun way with JWI, and even on the weapons trainings that we do in the Rock Jiu-Jitsu team, where we're throwing guns, we're throwing knives in, and we're rolling. I had somebody the other day, we were talking about, like, they're like, well, we should also do like MMA where they're striking. I was like, no, you don't understand. It's not going to be the same because I like the idea. It sounds fun. It sounds in theory like it'd be wildly fun. We'd have a lot of cool displays with striking involved. But here's the problem. If you've never been striking before, as soon as a dude gets hit in the face by another dude, it goes from we're having fun to I'm going to kill you.
Oh, absolutely.
And it happens quick.
Yeah.
So what we're able to do with the JWI, with jiu-jitsu, I truly don't think that there is any way to incorporate striking and it keep the same kind of a electric, fun, family-friendly energy. Because when we start, if we were to start throwing strikes in, and then there's weapons and knives, we're going to have those egos getting stroked to where the guns or knives get thrown in there. and we're gonna have dudes that acting like, oh no, you didn't shoot me, it missed. No, you that wouldn't have killed me. That would have just
What
hit
are we
me.
playing Cowboys and Indians when we were 4?
Exactly. It's like no. The whole thing is we've made it this league that is. There's a lot of very good sportsmanship behind it.
Yeah.
You see, if you see the videos online, the people are having fun. The competitors, even if they lose, they're having fun. They're playing dead,
And they high five with each other at the end, and they appreciate it. Yeah, I don't want to rabbit trail even that thought. I mean, don't get me wrong, striking in suits and doing a John Wick makeover here and doing a short film, that would be fun. But you're right, dude. I mean, like if I was down there as a blue belt, rolling with somebody, and they were taking advantage of me in jits, and I could strike, oh, it would be game on. Win or lose, it'd be game on, because that's my whole world coming into jiu-jitsu. I didn't know anything about playing on the ground until I got into this, but I love upright. I mean, if I'm on my feet, that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's why I do CQB. That's the sole reason I do it.
And I didn't mean to rabbit trail. It's just because you had mentioned that, and we had mentioned, the guns and knives getting thrown in. But what I think is very relevant and very important is we did talk about people buying a gun and thinking that that's just enough. Well, think about it this way. I guarantee you that probably there's less than 10% of people out there that have bought a gun and they've actually trained what happens if somebody tries to strip a weapon from you. They probably haven't even thought about that. They probably haven't even thought, well, what if I pull my gun and somebody's close enough to where they put hands on my gun? They probably haven't even thought that far.
I would say, so I'm going to give you the 10%. I will tell you of the people I've trained, and it's got to be into the thousands now, or more than, actually, probably close to 10,000. But I'm going back 31 years, my trainings with others, church trainings. Sometimes you're training 400 or 500 people at a time. So that number is not embellished. But in the groups of 25 to 30, typically is one.
Yeah.
When I ask that question, at best. If I get 2, that's a heavy crowd.
Yeah.
That have actually thought, oh, how do I do this? Which is why we do dry fire tactics. And people are like, well, I've had a couple people come to me that teach CCW classes and say, dry fire, dude, that's stupid. Why are you doing that? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I just want to throttle you. Like, let's go out there and I'll show you why we're doing this. And it's not because I'm smarter, better. No, it's just because it's the real world. When you're in law enforcement, I said on the I think it was the very first, if not the second episode, people ask me all the time, man, you were SWAT, you did all the stuff, martial arts. How many fights were you in as a cop? 4. Physical, knockdown, drag out, I'm going to die or he's going to die fights. How many scuffles was I in? Every third arrest. So 7, close to 700. So what, 250 scuffles? Where you're going to the ground, struggling, punches might be thrown. But when I'm talking knockdown, drag out.
It's like kill or be killed.
Kill or be killed fights. Yeah, 4. 4. How many hockey fights have I been in where at least 1, if not 8 punches were thrown? Probably 200. Fully contacted in knock you out type punches, fights, 10. I'm sorry, I rabbit trail, but I hate when people embellish numbers on stuff. I mean, out of all my hockey fights, I guarantee I've been punched in the face a couple of 100 times, no doubt about it. Have I been clean clocked in the face? 10 times. 10 times. Like holy crap, I'm going down. Got
rocked.
Really hurt. How many have I knocked out? Knocked out 3 guys. 3. Like full on, 1 punch done. How many guys have I hit 4 or 5 times and put them to the ground? 40, 50, and they come up and high five. Yeah. Like, dude, good fight. Like I've only had 1 hockey fight where I think we hated each other. And the guy just killed me both times. Just absolutely demolished me. 5'7", 150-pound Indian kid from Alaska. Feather, not dot, by the way. That's just the toughest face I've ever punched him. It hurt my hand to hit his face, and he would laugh at you. He was like the reigning champion.
Was he
juniors.
was he like an Eskimo?
Yeah, very, very much so. I mean, like way up Alaska. Yeah.
Those guys are built different,
dude, and just a brutal hockey player.
Dude, you're talking about people who build houses out of ice, bro.
He was crazy.
They're just
and he
unshakable.
He wasn't funny. He didn't laugh. He didn't want to go for a beer after. He just wanted to go out and fight. Like that was his thing. He was just angry on skates. But I loved, I look back at it, and that's 2 really good losses, and I learned something from it. I was perfectly okay getting tuned up by a dude half my size and realizing, wow, like you can hit somebody as hard as you can in the face, and sometimes they just laugh at you. And that's real world, right?
Yeah.
That's just real world. So anytime I said all that, I guess to say this, just because you have a gun doesn't mean anything.
No, you got to train.
You got to train.
You got to train. And the dry fire is so important. Why? Because you can shoot in front of a stationary target standing in your lane at a gun range. And even that's better than most. A lot of people don't even get out and train on a range just stationary enough. But as soon as you add movement to anything, everything changes.
Everything.
So the dry fire is so important because, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen guys that are experienced with firearms come out and do dry fire tactics classes. They're dropping magazines. They're jamming. They're not reloading right.
Happened in here several times, just moving 15 feet. Yeah, I'm going to show you something that's cool, I think.
Please do.
This is me.
I like cool things.
I think this is cool. So this little puppy right here, it was my original Glock. What is this, a 35? I think it's a 35. I should know this. I've only had it for 30 years. This was my department gun, my carry gun on the street. I didn't carry it in fugitive or undercover for a myriad of reasons. But I will say this. I was also a firearms instructor at the time. This gun legitimately has, I would bank 60,000 rounds through it. But what's crazy cool about this gun is on a dry fire scenario. So I will pull this trigger and dry fire 75 to 100 times the training times 2,000 trainings. Same trigger.
Same trigger.
Same trigger. Same barrel. No replacement parts in this gun. Say what you want, but Austrian made Glocks. You could bury this thing in the mud. It's like an AK-47.
People have, on YouTube. They do it all the time.
It's amazing. And I will tell you.
That's how most gun channels are started. Glock torture tests.
It's just an unbelievable weapon, and I love it because it is so. It's not as ergonomically comfortable in my hand as the Springfield on the backstrap of the Springfield, which is why I go to Springfield. But as far as tried and true, and I can say one more thing about this gun. I've had one that I remember. I may have had something in the range I forgot, but I recall one physical mouth, and I'm going to blame the ammo, not the gun. One.
Wow.
Out of this gun. This is like should go into the flipping Hall of Fame. This gun is that good. I cover it with a red sandpapery thing for my training when I'm out there because I'm all day long. My hands get sweaty. Plus, I want red on the firing line when I'm training. But outside of throwing the red on there, this gun is 100% stock. 100% stock. And it has been tried and true. So
what about the slide? You bought the slide that color?
No, I had a buddy of mine that was doing, what do they call that? When they, Cerakote?
Was it Cerakote or a dip?
No, it's a Cerakote. So he did a 3-layer Cerakote on it. He was learning how to do it. And he said, hey, you got a couple guns that I could play with? And I said, yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing fancy. No,
that's super cool. I do like the Cerakote on it, with that
he wrote
digital camo.
Lie detector on the side of it. So.
Yeah, and that's already been faded off. You can see from all your trainings, it seems.
That gun has been through the wash. But
man, was this ported when you bought it?
Isn't that crazy? That was the first gen ported.
Man.
And they did that. Glock claims they did that for the counterweight because the gun was so long for the slide was to take the weight out of the end of the slide. And I think they hit a home run on it because it actually, if you shoot the other one that is not ported, sight picture is a little bit harder. But those are original sights, everything, dude.
It's not bad at all. It's honestly pretty easy.
Adjusted that gun.
It's pretty easy to get that sight picture. It's not bad.
So I use it for training for 2 reasons. One, I carried it and I know it. 2, it's big and it's easy for people to see. So when I'm demonstrating stuff, I can say, here's what we're doing, show everybody. So anyway, that's my.
Well, all the goodies stay on the table.
Goodies stay on the table.
So we can take a photo for our.
Well, I only brought so many goodies because I got my small on my back now.
I don't know, man. We may end up having a 2.0 this because we're having a lot of fun. This is pretty cool,
dude. I still got And we've barely even gotten into tactics yet.
Yeah, we haven't even really talked much about it. But I will say, since we were talking about shotguns, man, I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. I have a shotgun in my bag.
I didn't bring a
I have a
shotgun.
shotgun in my bag. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Super.
I
It's
didn't
the
bring
smallest shotgun probably that exists.
Shut up. What is that? Oh, a Judge?
Taurus Judge.
Yeah.
And here, you don't believe me that it's a shotgun? Look here.
410 shells.
I'm gonna show the camera so the camera can see. And
I have
take a
3 of
look.
those, by the
Look.
way.
Taurus Judges?
I have 3.
So the Taurus Judge, this was like whenever I was a kid, for whatever reason, like whenever I was probably like, I say kid, but probably when I was like a teenager, like 15 years old, like the Judge was kind of all the rage. And Smith & Wesson had the Governor, and then there was the Circuit Judge. Have you seen the Circuit Judge?
I've not seen the Circuit
The Circuit Judge is a rifle version of the Judge,
okay.
which is super cool because, I
Yeah.
mean, for like hunting and stuff, I don't have the Circuit Judge.
But was
I
it still a
always
410?
wanted- Yeah, you can shoot
okay.
410 or 45 long Colt.
Yeah.
And I always wanted a Judge, so I finally got one.
That one's
whenever I
not the
could.
polymer, though, right? That
No.
one's steel.
This is all metal.
So I've got a steel and I got 2 polymers. And the reason I bought 2 polymers is because they were on sale at Murdoch's for $2.99.
Whoa.
And I bought them back to back. I'm like, I'm not going to not have them. But that is a way cool.
It's just fun.
It's a way cool gun.
The different types of ammo that they make for the 410 is awesome. These rounds are my favorites for like home defense, or if you ever really needed to get it out, because they have this to where you have one that shoots just like a laser beam. And then there's like 3 other little projectiles that shoot with a very predictable spread. So you're basically shooting 1 center and then 3 surrounding, which is super, super cool, because you're just talking about having a round that covers all the bases. You know, you're most likely not going to miss.
Yeah.
And just some super cool rounds that they come out with to be able to put these things through. This actually has a little bit of looks like elk blood on the end. You see that? So that's cool. That won't ever be washed off. That'll stay on
you
there.
gotta leave that on there. This thing looks like it's been through the paces.
Oh, dude, I've had that gun for several years.
Definitely factory. You haven't switched anything.
No, I haven't switched
I can tell
anything.
just by the feel of it.
So now I'm carrying, usually whenever I'm hunting, usually my sidearm is the 357, but for years and years and years, I would carry the Judge as my sidearm while hunting.
Such a great
So yeah, this thing is it's still one of my favorite revolvers.
So have you
It's
played
awesome.
with the polymer yet? Okay, I'll bring it.
I haven't even seen it. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I literally bought this thing whenever they were still pretty new. Like I don't even think they had very many different versions, and they were still pretty expensive. Now you can get them very affordable.
Oh yeah, well the
know?
Smith and Wesson, the Governor is a grand.
Yeah, that one's premium.
That one's $500 typically. I paid $399 for mine. Again, I'm frugal, so I found one on sale, $399. Iron Horse Armory. Shout out to them. Those guys always have guns, dude. By the way, so that little hole in the wall shop in Parker is amazing. And then Murdoch's, I bought back-to-back polymers. The reason I bought back-to-back polymers is I bought the first one, immediately drove down the roadway, pulled off the side of the roadway out in the middle of nowhere and shot it. Turned around, drove back, and got a second one for
Are
my
you
wife.
kidding
No,
me?
I'm dead serious.
Wow.
And they're both in flat dark earth, and they're light, but believe it or not, they're actually very controllable.
Yeah.
Even though it's polymer.
No, I love the Judge. It's awesome, man.
great gun.
I've always been a huge fan of the Taurus Judge, and just being able to interchange. I mean, having a hand cannon that literally shoots a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
Even with it being obviously a 410, a smaller shotgun shell, it's still the coolest thing ever. And I mean, you can get, like rat shot rounds for almost any caliber where you're shooting pellets, but it's not the same thing. It's not as cool as actually getting a dedicated shotgun shell. And actually, one of the first guns that I learned on when I was a kid is we had a bolt action 410 shotgun.
Yeah.
So whenever we would go shoot clays or whatever, even when we go hunt birds, I would be carrying, like whenever, I'm 10 years old, whatever, I'd be carrying 410 shotgun. And so I already was very familiar with the round. And whenever I heard when I was getting a little older, I was like, they have a handgun that shoots a 410
What
shotgun
do you think
shell?
of when you shoot that? Like, what do you think of just the control and the kick on it?
It's
The 45 to 410. So let me clarify. If you have multiple, because I cross load mine. Do you? Yeah.
I have. I usually nowadays I just like to. It usually stays loaded with 5 of those rounds, just because I love these. These are Hornady critical defense rounds.
They're super good, by the way.
You've shot these?
Oh yeah,
These are awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You're one. I call them 1-in-4s.
Exactly.
They're awesome.
Yeah, I love these. I love these shells. So typically it stays loaded with those.
They're expensive
but
though.
They are expensive. So it's not like I would just go shoot those things just for fun or whatever. If I'm just going to shoot it for fun, I'm going to be shooting. I'll keep some buckshot and some birdshot and then some 45 long Colt.
Yeah.
45 long Colt, usually I find actually has a little bit more kick, but it's still very nice. It's not coming out of the judge. It feels pretty good.
It's not bad.
I don't mind it at all. You shoot a 44 Magnum, that thing's wild.
Yeah.
Right. You shoot a 45 long Colt, and you're like, oh, this is controllable.
It's controlled.
This
And
is-
your sight pictures, actually, you can get back on point pretty quick with it.
Uh-huh.
And my 44, so I got a Taurus Raging Hunter in a 5.5 inch
yeah.
in a 454. Dude.
Yeah. That
I'm
thing,
here to tell you, it will blow a hole in an engine block, but at the exact same time,
if you're not holding on.
if you're not holding on,
Yeah.
So anytime I let somebody test drive it, 1 round only.
Oh yeah.
One
Absolutely.
round only. Because I've had guys canoe their foreheads
Yeah.
with that thing. Like they're like, holy crap. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's like shooting a Desert Eagle .50. If you're not holding on to that puppy, holy crap. People are like, oh, it's an automatic. I think it doesn't matter. That thing really kicks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So this is what I would liken it to is I've shot 44 a couple of times. I don't find it very fun to shoot a 44.
Not after 20 shots.
I find it very fun to shoot the 45 long Colt.
Yeah.
Or even if it's a 410 round, that's fun, and it's not like you're getting worn out with it. You know,
Right.
you can just keep shooting, having fun with it as long as you want to. For the 44 Magnum, you are like, okay, that's good. I'm practiced enough.
Yeah, the 454, 460 runs on the. By the way, I really like the Taurus Raging Hunter. That's a really good gun. I've had, the guys have their opinions on them, but because I've got
That's
it in
the choice. That and a 10 mil is usually the choice, from what I understand, for a lot of people in Alaska, where it's
Dude, if
grizzly
you're going
country,
bear
you know?
hunting,
Yeah.
so I've got I've got a 44 on an 8-inch barrel for that very reason on a cross draw rig, and then the 454 Casull and a 5.5 overall, which is way more comfortable. Obviously, that 8-inch is ridiculous, but you can scope the 8-inch. That's what's great about it. So if you're actually running on a cross draw, you can actually put a decent scope, and I mean at 50, 60 yards,
Yeah.
you're banging on that thing. Now, it's a handful, but
Yeah.
that's I like it. It's a good gun. I've only, to be fair, I've never put down game with it. I don't want to be thinking I'm a hunter. I'm not you. Jared's the hunter of the group. I used to hunt men. So I had a car. We would pit. We would drag you out the window. I'd hunt pedophiles and homicide suspects.
Hey, you're about to go with me. We just had a conversation. You're about to go with me this season. All right, but this is gonna be with the bow though, so it's not gonna be with the gun. So.
I've never done bow hunting. I'm so excited to shoot with you.
You're gonna love it, dude.
Kyle. My daughter is my daughter picked up a bow. Well, my daughter, I don't care what she picks up. She's like the smartest human being I've ever seen. She can adapt to anything in 3 seconds. So one day, she's 8 years old. I think I want to play violin. So we get her a viola. And the most painful thing I've ever watched in my life was her first orchestra, where they just sit there and pluck. It's like plink, plink, plink. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on? A year later, she's head chair in Chambers Orchestra. Sounds like she should be at the Philharmonic. I'm like, oh my gosh. So she's done this with, I love doting on, well, her and Zach, my son, they both have incredibly different skill sets, but both very talented. But I say this about Sydney. She picked up a bow for the first time. So we were over at Cabela's, and they had a shooting room in the back, and you could go down to like test drive bows.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
Uh-huh.
I didn't.
I've
know
been there
that.
a couple times.
I didn't know
Yeah.
the first thing about it. Walked in. I was there to pick up a plaid shirt. Sydney sees this bow. She's 10 maybe, and the guy says, "Hey, we're doing free kids classes. Come back. I'll supervise, showcase, sign her up, sign the waiver." Dude, we were there I bet we were there 5 hours. I'm not kidding. Like we literally could have left.
Yeah.
And come back, and she would have never even known that we were gone. But mom, of course, is filming and doing that. She was longbowing, and then they went to a compound, and it was, because she was 10, dude, I think the pull on it was like 10 pounds. I mean, it was nothing. It was just the set. But she ended up getting into it. The whole point of this whole story, she became very good at it, and she started competition shooting. Like really, really.
I didn't even know
shooter.
that.
Really good shooter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never shot a bow. Well, no,
Was
that's
she
not
shooting
true.
a compound?
She's shooting a compound. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have shot a bow one time in my life, and I got the ever-living crap beat out of me. And I mean beat out of me by my grandfather. I was 13, maybe 14, testosterone's going on, and there's a little girl next door, man. She is just the cutest thing ever. And my grandfather gave me a 6-foot long story Christmas gift. He shares this whole story about where this bow came from, and I just on and on and on and on. Gives me this bow, gives me all the safety speak and everything. And the last thing he says, don't ever shoot an arrow straight up the air to see how high it will go. And I went outside with that little girl next door.
Oh no.
And I arched that thing back and I shot it straight up in the air. And the next thing I know is I feel both of our collars get grabbed. He jerks us back underneath the awning of the house, and that arrow came down right where I was standing. And that was the only time I've ever shot a bow.
Wow.
And then I just got the crap kicked out of me with that apple switch.
Probably,
he made me,
probably rightfully so.
dude, he made me cut the apple switch off the tree, and he said, don't make it small.
Oh,
yeah.
Those were the worst ones,
old
man.
school Kentucky.
Those were the worst ones. You get to pick what you're going to get your weapon with.
I got tuned up. And Kendra Kennedy was her name. I'll never forget that little girl, because when I went back, when I was a young man, 18, 19 at that time, went back to Kentucky to visit my grandparents, I saw her, and the first thing she said to me, she goes, "You don't have a bow, do you?" So
that's funny.
But yeah, that's literally the only time I've ever shot a bow. I've never pulled.
Well, we got to fix that. Sounds like it
anything.
was a traumatic experience for you. So we got to fix that. We got to rewrite some history for you. But I mean, I think that here's the thing. I mean, there's a scene in Grown Ups where they do that. It's one of the funniest things ever. You know, arrow roulette, whatever. All these dudes, you know, everybody running in the crew in that Grown Ups movie is all shooting a bow in the air, and they see who stands in the circle the longest.
I've not seen that movie.
You gotta watch at least that scene.
Is it the comedy?
You will gig on that scene, given your story.
I have PTSD for that, dude. That apple switch hurt, man. I'll never forget that day. But
No,
but it's a lesson learned. I never forgot it.
I will tell you that I remember some of those. You get to go anything in the house. You're getting a whip and go pick what you want. Having these cunning plans where you're like, oh, okay, this is the smallest little magazine I could find. Well, that thing gets wadded up real tight. That was a mistake right there. Yeah, those were some of the worst ones, man. You pick your poison. You're getting whipped. Whatever you want to get whipped with. It's like,
Dude, I want to stay on focus, but you just said something that. So same story, except for I came back with nothing.
Oh,
and I thought I had outsmarted him, like, because I had tried, because I was a problem child when I was young. I got in trouble a lot, and so I got whooped a lot. So I came back. Greatest. This is 8-second story. I come back, and he's like, "You got nothing?" He goes, "Come here," and I thought, "Oh no, here we go." And he flicked me between the eyes on my forehead, but he snapped when he did it, and it left a knot. But here's the thing. Here's why. All these people think that it was child abuse, but keep in mind, this is like 1974. So we got to put this in context.
I hate that you have to put that in context, okay? Because here's the deal.
We shouldn't have to.
We're hard-headed dudes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we need a good flicking.
You need a good flicking. Here's why I got it, though. I called my grandmother a name.
Oh, that was a mistake.
And my grandfather said, "There's God, and there's my wife, and then there's you. And you're a distant third." And I was like, and he was, by the way, my grandfather was a big hoss of a man. He was a woodworker. They had a lumber company. So this guy planed hickory
so he had
all day
strong
long.
hands.
Dude, he had calloused meat hooks is what he had. And when he flicked me, it left a knot. And I ended up getting 2 little black rings right on the inside. It didn't blacken my eyes, but 2 little right here on the inside. That's how hard he flicked me between the eyes. And I remember that one more than anything, not because he flicked me, but because I said something mean to my grandmother. And he said, "You will always edify a woman. Mm-hmm. You will absolutely use chivalry." And he explained to me at 7 years of age what that meant. And to this day, I've never forgot it.
Dude, that is the perfect way to end this episode, because now we have some edification that people need to hear that, because that is something we cannot get lost in the society we're living in right now. That chivalry, the way that you're supposed to speak to women, especially speak to someone who is your elder, that is your grandmother. I love that. I love that story. We need more of that. We need men who are going to raise up other men with those hard-learned lessons, but very important lessons.
Yeah.
This is how you treat a woman. This is how you talk to your grandmother. Some of those basic lessons, man, is so important. We can't let that die off.
When you walked in yesterday, the gal that was on my phone, that's his daughter. Sharon is my last living relative on either side of mom, dad, so to speak. Now, my mom still, extended family. And my Aunt Sharon essentially raised me when I was a boy. And she took me from troubled childhood to really to become a young man in respect. And that she is 70. She just turned 71 August 5th. Because I'm 57, August 8th. She still calls me honey, sweetheart, darling.
I heard. Sounds like
in that Kentucky twang.
Sounds like an absolute sweetheart.
She's an amazing human being, and she's like that with everybody. She can go to the grocery store line. She'll be best friends with 4 people by the time she leaves. But she instilled something in me that my grandfather was bam, and then Sharon would come over and explain, here's why he did this, and I want you to understand that. And I love that woman to death. I mean, she is without a doubt my favorite human being on the planet outside of my family. She's just that gal, and she has been my whole life. I can pick up the phone, not talk to her for a year, and we could pick up the conversation where we were at a year ago, like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. So
very cool. Well, we're definitely going to 2.0 this because we still have so much to talk about and go over. And I'm having a great time, man.
Yeah,
what an awesome conversation.
Yeah, we got to get into tactics too, because that is something that is really, really important for people to understand. Yeah. It's not just carrying a gun; it's what you do with it.
All right. Yeah. We'll do it on this next episode. It'll give us something to look forward to, give the listeners something to look forward to, because I think we're honestly having a really good conversation. I mean, have we been doing a little show and tell? Absolutely. But we've also been talking about a lot of important things in between. So I'm enjoying this conversation and excited to kick it back off the next episode. But let's go ahead and sign this one off. You ready?
Cool. Yep.
Lord, thank you for another opportunity to sit down, and thank you for another opportunity to have a conversation with Micah and to be able to show some of these tools that we're able to enjoy, have fun with, but also to train with and take seriously. Lord, you know that our prayer always is we don't want to have an opportunity to be able to hurt anyone. Our prayer is an opportunity to be able to help somebody, Lord. That's what we want. That's what our priority is. Anybody and everybody that can be put in my path and Micah's path that need help, that need you, that need your light in their life, that's what we want to do, Jesus. We ask you to help us, Lord, to walk with you and let your light shine bright in us. And I pray that you'd help us, Lord, to be always open and mindful for the opportunities that exist to be able to help people and bring people to the knowledge of you, Lord. You've loved us and you love everyone, Lord, and your will is for everyone to come to the knowledge of you and to learn of your love for them. God, that's what we want. But we also know the importance of being prepared and being ready should we be in a position where we need to protect our families or those around us. And God, we take that weight seriously, and we want to make sure that we are being good representatives of you. We ask you, Lord, that you would help us to continue to learn and grow in you, that you would let us continue to be the men that we're supposed to be, and let us be who we're supposed to be for our families, for all of our friends, for all those that are around us, and everybody that's listening right now. I pray for them. I pray that you let them feel your love, that you let them feel your presence, and that you let them walk with you, Lord, and that you would walk with them, Lord. We put everything in your hands. We put our trust in you, and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Until next time.